So I started the article with the question, why React? And it's a very good question, and it's important because if we're going to invest time in learning something new, we need to understand what's the return on investment. First reason is that React actually is a library, it's not a framework. And from my experience, depending on a framework is painful. There was a company that I joined actually. They've been moving from a framework to another. They started with PHP when PHP was the big thing, WordPress and PHP. And then they wanted to move when Angular 1, the first release of Angular, came. They wanted to move to Angular. So they had to change everything and build the site from scratch and do the migration to the new site. It took them a couple of years. And then after that, Angular 2.0 came. And Angular 1 got deprecated. There are stuff that's not supported anymore and you can't extend the site, so they were forced to move to Angular 2. It took a few months again because it was completely actually different framework. And then after that, React came, and there are a lot of flexible stuff that can be done in React better than Angular, and they're now moving again from Angular to React, but new sites are building with React. React is a bunch of libraries that help you to have the virtual DOM, as we will see, and some React libraries that we get, and you have the freedom to choose how you build, how you organize your if you didn't use Create React Tab, of course. Create React Tab is like similar to a framework. It will limit you to certain stuff, but you can import what you need just to get rid of what you don't need. You can organize your folders as you like, and you can organize your project and how you deploy it actually, so you don't have to follow like the MVC and the other things that's being forced in other frameworks as well. So it's a good way to actually not depend on a framework and use those libraries, which they keep growing, and people still, the community is big and they are adding to it. The second reason is that React is easy to learn. Since React is not a framework, you don't need to learn a framework, just some libraries, and it uses also JSX. JSX is just a mix of JavaScript and HTML. It's being translated by Babel, so JSX is so easy to learn from the beginning if you're familiar with JavaScript and HTML. React components makes it easy to have single responsibility and integrate things together, and the idea of like building your code into components makes it easy for independent components and merge them in a single page application. React performance, React page renders very quickly. The algorithms that they are using actually makes it a lot easier and faster, so the performance of the virtual DOM actually helps you to render only the changed stuff that you need. Of course, you can build mobile, web, and desktop apps because like React.js, React Native, they are all the same sequence. A very important reason also to learn React and to work with React is the React community. It's very important to look at the community of anything you're going to adopt. If it's like a small community or a big community, because of the support and the libraries and the updates to things you're working on, this is what makes things successful. So the React community, it has the top experts, and it has a huge open source libraries, open source code, and you can get help very fast. If you go to like Stack Overflow or any of those things and you just ask any question about React, 99% of the time you'll find the answer there. And this will help you focus on business logic. You don't have to recreate things or reinvent the wheels. If you need something, most probably it's available from someone else. Thousands of tutorials, videos, articles like those. You'll find on YouTube. If you just search in YouTube, you'll find whatever you need over there. I was searching in one of the new tools, and it's like, especially the module variation just came out about 6 months ago. It's like very hard to find something about it. It takes time until things start to build up. React is like there's a flood of tutorials, videos, articles. You will never get stuck without finding the help somewhere. Top companies are using actually React. in production. One of them is Facebook, of course, which makes learning it very valuable. If you're looking for job, look at the job requirements and look for React. React is like top of the job requirements. Big company like Facebook is the one. Facebook is the one created React actually, and it supports it. When you have a reliable company behind the product, it's always a good thing to use, because Facebook is a reliable company, like Microsoft is a reliable company. Of course, Google for Angular is a reliable company. So when you first think if it's not a reliable company, because if it's not, actually, it might get deprecated and obsolete soon. So usually, if there is a company behind it that it will keep updating it to be faster, better performance, then this will give you the confidence. Definitely, it will last for a while. Most companies actually today are switching to React. Most of the companies I worked with, most of my clients are switching to React because of the performance, easier to find job for you, since most of the companies, as I said, are switching to React. But it is the actually way to go. Some people, they have the debate between Vue, React, Angular, but actually the experience showed that React is the most favored tool, because it's not a framework. As I said, it's a library and it gives you more freedom. And actually, Stack Overflow, they ran a survey for developers, and they asked what's the most popular and loved language. They gave the comparison between Angular, React, and Vue, and actually React was the highest by far, actually, as the most favorable language for the front end.